Hello, hello, hello. There we go. Oh, it's not hello, hello, hello. It is. You get rid of this banner. It is good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Morning Matters. I am Matt, and we are here to start your day in the right way. Waking up with some positivity, setting our intentions, and refocusing ourselves on our goals, which we do daily, to remember why we go through the day and to be proactive every day as opposed to reactive every day and understand, put our priorities, helps our priorities when we have goals, gives us focus, gives meaning to the daily activities, and all that good stuff. So maybe a little laughs. The birds aren't out yet, but the sun is not up where I am yet. And it's going to keep getting darker and darker. We might not get the birds anymore soon. Obviously, wintertime, the birds go away, but we're going to enjoy them while they're still here. So, as we do everything, enjoy life, enjoy our family, enjoy our loved ones, enjoy our jobs, enjoy our health, enjoy our wealth, enjoy while it's still here. All right. So, it is Wednesday, October 22nd, the year of 2025. It is 6:34 in the morning right now. And we're getting ready for another beautiful day. And we're here on Morning Matters, which we do every morning. Well, not every morning. We do every weekday morning, Monday through Friday, just to, I started Morning Matters as a way to remind myself of why I get up, why I do what I do. And I figured I'd share with whoever is interested in hearing, and some of my thoughts. I do go over my goals every morning, and so while I do that, the goal is to influence other people to set their goals, write their goals down. Yesterday, we had a couple of people on. Someone said that they wrote their goals on a whiteboard that they look at each morning. That's awesome. Whether it's a vision board, maybe you're more a visual person and you need to look at them. Whatever it is you need to do to remind yourself as to why we do what we do, because a lot of times we go through the day and we get wrapped up in stuff. It happens to me. Like I have a job where it's 8 hours and it's very monotonous and repetitive, and so I have to remind myself, why am I doing this? I I take like a 4 or 5 minute break every once in a while, and I just go and stand at the front door. I don't go outside because it's a little chilly, but the sun comes right in the front glass door, and I just put my head against the door and soak up the sun like I'm Superman, and enjoy the fact that enjoy a little warmth. All right. And just remind myself, here's why I'm doing this. And we need reminders, because when you're in the midst of doing it, you might forget, why am I, I finally got to the gym yesterday, and it's like, well, why am I sweating and doing this stuff? And why am I making these phone calls? And why am I sitting here watching, these 6-year-olds run around, kick a ball, or, whatever it is that you're doing that you might not enjoy doing in the moment, but you remember the long-term goal. You're building a relationship with your kids. You're setting your financial status up, and your future self up financially. You're making it so you're healthy. I just did my every morning before I jump on this live. I do squats and push-ups. I do 3 sets of squats and push-ups, and it's like, as I do my squats, I was watching a video about how, like, you can heal everything by just deep squatting or just standing in a deep squat for a long time. And I can't do it. Right? I can't even stand in a deep squat for like a second. I'm going on 50. I'm an ex college football player, and my hips and knees are not as good as they should be, or as I want them to be. Let's put it that way. And so I'm working on it. So, I just focused as I'm doing my squats today, like, how can I sit a little deeper, feel it in my hip flexors, feel my knees stretching out, stretch out my shoulders. And And, I thought of myself standing. I was like, as I was doing, I was thinking to myself how standing in a squatted position for, a good minute or two. That would be cool if I could do that. So some people can stand like that, for quite some time, but comparison is the thief of joy, right? So the goal is not to beat everyone else. The goal is to become a better version of yourself each and every day. So what we do this morning and what we do every morning is, oh, hello, someone's on TikTok. Nice to see you. Any comments, any questions? I love to hear, people's goals. One of the things I'm going to be setting up, by the way, if you don't follow us, follow me I'm here on TikTok, Philosophy Man 76. I'm on YouTube right now, live every morning, Philosophy Man 76, and we're on stereo app, Philosophy Man 76. And I do also Cosmic Matters. If you want to see my podcast, we do Cosmic Matters for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, where we talk about philosophy of life and the universe. And we kind of merge some science and some spirituality together. And we do that every Sunday from 10 to 12. So, and I don't do this for fame or clout or to build a community. I just like to entertain your brain, maybe teach something. Actually, it was funny. I was thinking about this last night. I was like, what do I really, because I was kvetching about my job. I'm like, as much as I'm thankful for my job, it pays my bills, gives me a nice, my boss is great. My owner's great. They're very relaxed with me. They let me do it, what I got to do. And so no hatred towards them, but I was like, if I could do whatever I wanted to do, like if money wasn't an object, what would I do? And I find a lot of joy out of literally just this morning as I was doing my squats and my push-ups. I was watching some like high school or college age people watch like Eric Dickerson, watching things from the 90s, watching that stuff, and just learning stuff. And I think that's what I would do. I would do like there's a YouTube channel where it's like what is it? It's Kids React or Teens React. I would do something like that, or I would just want to share information with people. One of the things I enjoy seeing is people learn. Probably comes from my whole entire family being teachers, but I just don't want to be a teacher. So in the normal sense, I like teaching. I just don't want to be in the school teaching. So this is my next my best way to accomplish that and build a community, teach people about goals, how to budget, how to do finances, how to look at companies for investing. My big investment is Tesla right now. And in general, teach about life and cosmology and Buddhism. And I guess there's a Buddhism that Alan Watts proposed. I guess it's a version of Buddhism. And just share, because I feel like I have a lot of good insight for people to partake in. So that all being said, let's move on to the part of today where we talk about our goals, because goals are the destination is the draw. It's to pull you through the day, set your plan. They help you make your plan. I said this yesterday. I'll say it again. If you want to have a great life, start with your eulogy and then work your way backwards. Whatever you want them to say about you, just start doing those things, right? If you want them to say built an empire, then start building your empire. If it was he helped or she helped animals and was a great carer of animals, then start helping some animals, right? So whatever you want your end to be, that's where you start, and then you work backwards and start making your plans from there. And a plan, again, the plan is not as important as the goal. A lot of times we ask for things, and it's not about, like somebody yesterday in the podcast asked why how to do this, and how do I get this? I want to have this much money. How do I do it? And I didn't really answer the question because I don't know her situation, and I don't know anyone's situation other than my own. And even my own situation changes. Like when I started with my goals here, I put down one of my goals you're going to see in a minute, or you see on TikTok down below, is to earn $160,000 in a year, right? And when I made that goal, I didn't even have a job. Like I was like, I just left my solar job, and I didn't even have the job I have currently. I just was like, this is what I want, and we'll figure it out from there, right? And so the goal, it's more important to have the goal, and then let the universe, let your subconscious work on it. I used to teach my sales team, uh, that when you ask yourself a question, you have no you have no um what's the word I'm looking for? You just have to answer it. Your subconscious will have to answer any question you give to it. So you want to ask yourself the right questions. So if you're asking yourself, "Hey, good morning to Maya Geo and Renee," um, so you have to ask yourself good questions. So if you ask yourself, for example, if you ask yourself, um, well, here's an example what I mean by the subconscious always working. Like, I'm sure all of us have had this experience where you're sitting somewhere and you're having a conversation with someone. No, this used to happen more before the internet existed, and we all had these little rectangles that gave us all the information. But it's like, oh, what's that? Oh, the actor's name in that movie. What's the guy who he's always like he's loud and I just and you're like I can't remember, and then like an hour later you're at dinner and you're like Samuel Jackson, right? And people are like, what are you talking about? It's like, oh, I just I thought of something that I was thinking of before. Like it just pops in your head because you weren't consciously trying to come up with the answer, but subconsciously your mind kept working on it, trying to come up with the answer. So if you ask yourself questions, like especially like I used to talk about sales, it's like if you ask them like, why don't these people like me? And you're gonna come with a bunch of bad answers, and subconsciously you're gonna be like, well, maybe maybe it's because I'm, they don't. Maybe I stink. Maybe maybe they don't like my clothes. Maybe I'm not dressed right. Maybe I got a booger, right? And you get all self conscious because you're asking yourself questions that are negative questions, right? So I used to call this the what if questions, So, don't ask yourself, what if I do this and it doesn't work? What if I try this and it doesn't work? Because then your subconscious goes down that road. It's like, well, what if it doesn't? What if you try this, it doesn't work? Well, you won't have money. You won't be able to pay your bills. You won't have this. You won't have that. And the answer always turns out to be, don't do it. Right? What if I go and ask her out? If I go over and ask her out, she might say no, and then I'm gonna look like a fool, and I'm gonna feel bad, and and they're gonna laugh at me. I better not do that, right? And so, what if questions, the typical what if questions, right? Will lead you down the wrong path, or even asking the wrong question. So you want to ask yourself the right questions. With the right questions, start with how can I? How can I make this person like me? How can I approach this person in the right way? Right? How can I, make a certain amount of money or do whatever it is that you want to do? How can I, lose weight? And when you ask yourself those kind of questions, now your brain, you put your subconscious to the proper use, right? And it's like, well, you could do this, or you could do that, or maybe you get her a drink, or you start going to the gym, you can start doing this. It's like the algorithm of your brain finds the answers, just like the algorithm of your social media starts sending you stuff that you like. It's the same way your brain works, right? It will start finding paths for you. And so you can call that, the mystical universe. You can call it whatever you want, but it works. Even if you ask some of the most successful people that aren't even, they always say, like, I don't know how I was going to get there. I just knew I was going to get there, and I just woke up every day and worked towards it, and then we found a way. And so when you have a strong why, which is what these goals are, you find a way. I could put these up here now. Can I just put them all up there? Show comments on stage here. Hey, look, can you guys see your comments now? It looks like I can see you. I'm learning new things all the time. So wait, does it show all the comments? I don't know. Renee and Maya Geo, do you see your comments up there now? Yeah, cool. All right. Oh, so I guess I if I there we go. Oh, the comments are down there in the stage, and then I popping them up if I have a okay, look at this. I'm becoming a professional podcaster. So okay, so I'm not a boomer, I'm a Gen Xer, right? I'm such a Gen Xer. Uh most successful. There we go. There. So look at that. He is. That guy's the most successful. There you go. Popped you up there. So uh all right. So let's do what we do every day. Go over the goals. And I think I've chit chatted enough. I thought I heard the birds. I didn't hear the birds. It sounds like there's little squeaks going on, but the birds are really loud. It's usually not something I got to strain myself to find. But to make myself small. By the way, I got to remind myself I'm going to send out an email today. I really want to have a guest for this week's Cosmic Matters, and that's something I gotta make sure I put out some feelers today. Someone other than Muhammad. I love having Muhammad on the show. However, me and him have talked about size perspective a lot, and so as I was just talking about a little while ago, I like to introduce people who haven't experienced things. I like to see them see things for the first time. So I'm going to try to find a newbie to be on the show on Sunday. So so that way I can we can talk about the the cosmic perspective, or size matters, which I liked. Somebody I think it was Uncle something comedy who came up with that. So yeah, that's what we're going to do on Sunday. We're just going to talk about the big and the small of the universe. I got a lot of cool factoids to kind of blow people's minds as far as how really big this place is, that we just float around and don't really think about much. But anyway, 6:50. Let's get to the goals so I can wrap up. And I think I'm going to do another Tesla video today just for you, Renee. I got to redo the Tesla videos. I'm really upset. I spent like 3 or 4 hours on those, and it was all useless because I didn't understand. But I guess that's how you learn. I learned now exactly how to make sure the audio is playing when I'm using StreamYard. So, I'm doing it for you. I already did it. I already knew I've already done it for me. So I already did all the research and watched the video and did all that stuff. So now I'm doing it for everyone. So, because people come on here and they say, "Hey, watch this or read this and whatnot." I just want to make sure everyone understands. I try. I don't get to everything, but I do. I am open. It's funny. I'm having a discussion. Let's call it a discussion with one of my very strong right-leaning friends, and he's it's so funny that my right-leaning friends and my left-leaning friends are the exact same. Like, the more extreme they are, like, I literally just they just go through, like, they just post like every day 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 videos of if they're on the right, the libtards and this and that and blah blah blah, and they're so dumb, and the kings did they didn't want to have kings, and they should have did this and blah blah blah, and this and the ice are the great people, and then my left-leaning friends are the same way. They just post all the other stuff. It's like, I wonder if these people ever, like, the fact that they can find so many videos in a row to post every single day just should tell them maybe I'm in an echo chamber. Maybe like to think that the world is just like these, and they're reinforcing. I'm like, who are they really posting these videos for anyway? Like, do they think they post this stuff and they're changing anyone's mind? I don't know. It's got to be for themselves, right? It's like, I'm not watching them all. I mean, I just like to see both sides. So I watch I watch what the right's saying, I watch what the left's saying, and then I'm like, and then sometimes I just jut out because it's just so ridiculous, and they can't even see that they're being ridiculous. Like I just had a friend who posted, it was like I don't want to even say the right or left. It was the media, right? Is giving these people the script, and they should probably pay attention. And then they showed like two different like YouTubers saying like basically the exact same thing, but then it lined up exactly, like exactly word for word. But they were both reading a tweet of somebody else, like, and they had it in the background. And so they're both reading the tweet, and then the person who's making the video just lined it up, and they're like, "Look, that side is just giving them the script." I'm like, no, they're reading the script off the tweet. Of course it's going to line up. They're literally reading the same thing. They're not hiding it. It's in the background. So of course it's going to line up. But they're like, no, that's the other side is giving everyone the things that they got to say. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, what is, like, are you that deep in it? It's ridiculous. Yeah, I know. I'm with you, Maya Gio. Hey. Yeah. It's sad. It is sad. Political parasites. Anyway, so the point being is that you just have to be open. We have to listen to everyone. We have to understand that every single person is coming from a different point of view. They have different lives, they have different experiences. And I was watching a video. It was some actress, and I know who she is, and I just forgot off the top of my head. But she was like, the internet, the algorithms are what are also there. The birds, I hear it. Birds are here. We could start the day correctly. It's so funny. It's like it's literally the minute it gets light out, they start chirping. I should do this like from outside once, so everyone can hear the birds out the window. There's a lot of them. Like, it's not like 3 birds. There's like 50 of them outside my window. They're chirping away. But I was saying something. Oh, the woman, the actress, and she's like, we watch a video or we see something, and then we click it and we watch it, and the algorithm says, oh, this is what you like, so we're going to send you more of that, and then people just get the same thing over and over and over again, and they get reinforced, and they think this is the way the world is. And she was actually saying, like, it's not necessarily people, because everyone thinks that they're seeing the same thing. Like, some people are watching, like, for example, the No Kings protests, right? And some people are watching the No Kings protests from their point of view, or like, this was a great protest and this and that, because it's covered, because what they're getting is just the videos of all the things that they want to see about the protest. And other people are like, this is the worst thing ever, there was no one there, or this and that, and they're commenting about the same. They think they're both seeing the same thing, and they both think the other side is silly because they don't understand. They're not thinking about it the way they're thinking about it. But what's happening is they're not seeing the same event. They're seeing it covered differently by their algorithms. And so and then they're like, well, they're evil. Why? If they saw it this way, how could you possibly disagree with this? Right? Because they're not seeing it that way. They're seeing it a completely different way. You're not seeing it the way they are. So everyone's like, you're evil, you're stupid. And it's just more division among us. So yeah, the birds are great. I love the birds. I really wish everyone could hear them. I'm gonna have to mic them. Maybe I'll throw a microphone outside. I got an extra one here. I'll throw it outside so we can hear the birds in the morning. All right, it is 6:56. Let's do the goals, and then let's get out of here, and go and enjoy the day, and get a little bit closer to hitting our goals. So goals, as I go over every single day, need to be 3 things. I won't bore Renee and Maya Gio again, but I'll do it quick. They have to be measurable, meaning you have to be able to say you did it or you didn't do it. For example, you can't say I want to lose weight. You have to say I want to lose 25 pounds. So that would be a specific goal as opposed to not a goal. The second thing is they have to have a timetable. So there has to be a time when it ends. And then the third thing is you have to write them down. Because by writing them down, it holds you accountable to them. You can't change them in your head. So, where am I? So I have my goals. My goals are what I will accomplish before I turn 50. I turn 50 September 13th, 2026. And let's read them out. So earn $112,347 after taxes, $160,000 total. Get my first paycheck on Friday since I started doing this. So made some money. I did some Lyft driving and stuff before I got the job, but this will be week 3. I finally start getting paychecks and can start working on some of these other things that I'm doing here with that money, which is decreasing the bad debt by $25,000, buy $10,000 of Tesla stock. By the way, I'm not buying any Tesla stock. Oh, actually, well, we'll see. Today is the earnings call. And what typically happens, especially when Tesla has a good deliveries, which they did have good deliveries for Q3 for energy and for cars. Typically what will happen is the stock will go up as it's been going up. It's at, I think, 440 right now, because everybody's anticipating a good earnings call. And then as soon as the earnings call happened, the stock dives down, usually anywhere between 20 to 50 points. It happens. It's happened a lot. So let's just put it that way. Over the last, I've seen it happen at least 15 or 16 times. Now, there are a couple of times when the stock went up afterwards, but the overwhelming majority of the time is it's a build up, and then it's sell the news, right? It's a, buy the hype and sell the news. So I know that's not the phrase. So I'm waiting. So maybe on Friday I will buy Tesla stock because it'll probably drop after the earnings call today. But there will be another build up leading up to November 6th, which is, I just made a video about that on TikTok. Where they're going to show the Gen 3 robot, and they're going to vote on Elon's pay package and all that kind of jazz. So I'm going to, I have this weird thing about buying stocks. I buy low and sell high. That's what I try to do. It's weird. Most people don't do that. They buy high and sell low, right? And why do they do that? Because of FOMO, which is fear of missing out. So they get all, when things are going good and the stock's going up, they're like, "Ooh, I got to get in," because they get fear of missing out, and they buy on the green days, and they buy whatever, and whether it's Tesla or whatever else is going on, they get into the stock market when the things are going up, and it's like, okay, and then, well, if things are going up, then that's when you shouldn't be buying, right? And then everybody understands buy low, sell high, but then it's like, oh, everything's going up, everything's good, let me buy. And then when things go bad, they're like, oh my God, and they get all worried, and they're like, I'm losing my money, and my fund's going down, and my portfolio numbers are down, and I'm gonna sell. And then they sell. And this is why they call retail investors dumb money, because they buy high and they sell low, and you're supposed to do the opposite. You find good companies and you buy when everyone else is selling, when it's low, and then you sell when it's high. That's how it works, right? But you have to be able to get over the emotional side of it of, oh my gosh, I'm missing out. I got to get in now. It's taking off. GameStop is taking off. I got to buy GameStop. I got to do this. I got to buy this. I got to get into all these things they're taking out. No, like, you should have been buying Palantir when it was $6. It was $6 like less than a year and a half ago, but everyone was like, Palantir sucks. It's the numbers suck, the earnings suck, and now it's $180 a share, right? So a year and a half later, and now everyone's like buying. I got to buy Palantir. It's good stock, right? So you gotta research the company and buy the company. What am I doing? I'm talking a lot of. I'm sorry if you're leaving comments too, because I can't see them while I'm doing the goals part. And I got on another side tangent, and I got a message here. Wait, let me first check and see my comments. Buy low, sell high. Yeah, that's a great philosophy, right? It's amazing how many people don't follow it. All right, Marlena in Stereo Land. Let's see if I can get her message to play.
How does one buy stocks? Can you get it online? Can you get it on the app? Like, is there a particular way to go about buying them? I always wanted to get into that, but I never understood the process of obtaining it.
All right, so Thank you for coming here, Marlena. By the way, this is Morning Matters. I do this every morning, well, every weekday morning from 6:30 to 7, although I usually will start at 6:04 and not end until 7:10. But yes, you can get, there's a couple of apps. I don't suggest Robinhood. I'm not a Robinhood fan for buying stock, but you can set up, I have two. I actually had a video. Actually, maybe I should port the video to this new YouTube channel on the different brokerages, because each brokerage, all the different brokerages have different pros and cons. So I have two brokerages that I use right now. I use E-Trade and I use Webull, Webull. So I use Webull because it'll allow you to buy fractional shares, and fractional shares where E-Trade doesn't. So fractional shares are like, if you want to buy, let's say you only have $50 and you wanted to buy a share of Tesla stock, right? Like I love Tesla stock. So, but you go, oh, Tesla stock's $440. I only have $50. I guess I can't buy it. But what you can do is you can buy a fraction, right? So let's say it was $400. You only had $200 to make math easy. So instead of buying a whole share, you get half a share, right? And so you can just you can literally buy $5 of a stock that is of Microsoft stock, or Intel or whatever. So that's why I use Webull. Also with Webull, I can buy pre-market and post-market. So I can start buying, like you can't buy fractionals in the pre-market in Webull. So like the market opens at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. No, 9 o'clock, and then it closes at 4:30. But if I wanted to buy some stock right now before the market opened, I can do that on Webull. Can't do that on E-Trade, I don't think. No, you can't. But E-Trade allows me to do options, different types of options. I think I can have a marginal account on there's something I do on E-Trade that I can't do on Webull, and I forget what it is. I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but yeah. So you can. Those are the two I use. There's also, if you want to buy like Chinese stocks, you can use Moomoo, which is another one. But most people use Robinhood, but I'm not a fan of Robinhood because I'm not a fan of the owner of Robinhood, and I'm not a fan of what they did with the GameStop thing and all that kind of jazz. So, but then once you get yourself an account, you'll be able to trade the stocks on there. So hopefully I answered your question. You put the money in there, and then you're good to go. So 10,000 of Tesla stock, save $7,000. I have $7,000 because my monthly is 3,500, so I want to have at least 2 months saved. Now it might change, but there you go. And raise the credit score 150 points. All right, health goals. Weigh 250 pounds. I lost a pound yesterday. Woohoo! At least we're going in the right direction. Average weekly blood sugar. I am diabetic, so I'm trying to get my blood sugar under 150. That's a goal. Complete a half marathon, which is 13 miles. Bench press 315, so I do the push-ups every morning, and squat 225 for 10, which is why I do the squats every morning. I will be more focused on the health stuff. Right now, I'm really focused on just losing the weight through fasting. So I've been very good at the OMAD diet the last couple of days, which is basically OMAD is 1 meal a day. So I've been eating one meal at 7 o'clock, and that's what I've been doing. So, hey, B Rose, thank you for following. So maybe I should start this guys later. You guys all jump in right when I'm about to end the show. I got one more comment, so let's listen to Marlena.
So I live in the Middle East, from America, Tennessee to be exact, but I noticed that there's a lot of new infrastructure up and coming.
Thank you, Renee.
Here in the Middle East, and I'm pretty sure they have stocks over here too. Do you know any Middle Eastern brokerages or apps or websites that I could go to invest here, because it's up and coming very. I don't know if you know, but the Middle East is up and coming extremely fast, very, very fast. They're modernizing very, very fast, and I definitely want to tap into that before the how can I say, it gains global recognition.
So I'm not sure if the Middle East has its own like trade. has its own like market. Like they might have, they might. I don't. I'm not. I don't want to give information I don't know. Like I know, like Saudi Aramco is one of the biggest companies in the world. And so I really don't know. I know there's a Chinese stock exchange, and I don't buy Chinese stocks or deal with the Chinese stock exchange just because their reporting is feisty, in my opinion. They don't have as many rules around how they report their numbers. So I kind of stay away from those from the Chinese stock market altogether. But you can use. I would check Moomoo. I know it sounds weird to say Moomoo, but that's what it's called. Because they do. That's where if I wanted to do international stocks, European stock market, and the Chinese stock market, that's where I go. So I'm not sure about the Middle East, though. I'm not aware that they even have a stock market type of thing. I know their companies might be traded on the New York or the Chinese or the EU stock exchange, but I just don't. I'm not. I don't think they have like a stock market for the Middle East, but I'm not sure. Maybe I should look that up. So, okay. There we go. I've got the goals done. It's 7:08. It is time for me to go. By the way, thank you for everyone for being here, even if you came just for a couple of minutes. Renee and Maya Gio, love seeing you. Marlena, thank you. I do, again, check them here every morning, 6:30 to 7 o'clock or a little later, depending on how it goes for Morning Matters. And check me out on YouTube, Philosophy Man 76, and TikTok, Philosophy Man 76. And check out Cosmic Matters. We're going to be talking about perspective. Yes, Maya Gio, thank you. You have a great day as well. On Sunday. So everyone, enjoy your day. I hope it's wonderful. And I will see you tomorrow with more Morning Matters with me, Matt. I'll see you guys soon. All right, birds, calm down.